No discounts, no influencers, no screaming ads, just quiet stores, poetic packaging, and a loyal cult following across the globe. This is the story of how Aesop, an Australian skincare brand, went from a modest Melbourne shop to a billion-dollar global name by doing everything luxury brands weren't supposed to do. Back in 1987, in a small Melbourne hair salon, Dennis Puffitis started blending essential oils into hair products. Not because he wanted to launch a global brand, but because he didn't like what was on the shelf. The products were synthetic, the smells were artificial, and the vibe didn't align with his values. So he started blending his own plant-based ingredients, natural scents, something that felt honest, clean, and simple. And that's where Aesop was born. Not out of a business plan, but out of personal taste, out of a desire for something better. Dennis named the brand Aesop, inspired by the Greek storyteller, but also a subtle jab at the beauty industry for the wild claims it was making. You know the type, miracle creams and overnight transformations and etc. etc. Early Aesop products came in brown glass bottles with minimalist labels, no flashy fonts, no glitter, no nonsense, just thoughtful formulations in quiet packaging. From the beginning, this wasn't about chasing trends. This was about creating with intention. And funny enough, that intentionality became the trend years later. So here's where it gets interesting. Most brands try to be loud. They want to be seen, heard, shared, trending, but Aesop, it did the exact opposite. No celebrity endorsements, no viral campaigns, no constant 20% off sales, no end of season discounts. What they did instead was whisper, soft tone. The brand leaned into literature and design. Their brochures quoted philosophers. Their packaging was clean and poetic. Stores featured handwritten notes, calming music, and minimalist designs. Every space invited you to pause, not purchase. Stores that felt like art galleries, not retail shops. And here's the cool part. No two Aesop stores look the same. Seriously. Each one is designed by local architects using local materials. You might walk into a store in Kyoto built with charred timber, or one in Paris with warm oak beams, or Sydney where they used slices of local sandstone. One store in Singapore was lined with shredded newspaper. Every space was unique, but somehow each one felt like Aesop. That's the magic. Consistency in feeling, not uniformity in form. Even the retail experience was different. From the way products were displayed to the way staff interacted. Staff weren't pushy. They were calm, informed, and respectful. It felt more like a conversation than a transaction. Even their silence spoke louder than most brands shouting. And product launches? Quiet. No TikTok blitz, no countdown timers, just a subtle rollout. If you knew, you knew. And if not, they weren't chasing you. It wasn't about being everywhere. It was about being unforgettable where it mattered. Now you're probably wondering, how the hell do you scale something like this? Well, slowly but smartly. Most brands scale fast. Aesop scaled right. Aesop didn't chase mass retail, no race to be in every shopping mall. Instead, they opened stores in culture-forward cities. Think Tokyo, Paris, New York, London, places with architecture, design, and arts baked into the soul of the city. Streets with history, places where people notice details. They let the spaces do the marketing. No billboards, no pop-ups, just presence. And believe it or not, that strategy worked better than any ad campaign. Then came a genius move. Aesop hand wash started appearing in the restrooms of the world's best cafes and restaurants. That herbal scent, unforgettable. That design, instantly recognizable. It sparked curiosity, and curiosity led to conversion. That was marketing, without saying a word. All of it was word of mouth, quiet, consistent, organic. While most brands chased distribution, Aesop curated reverence. That's long game branding. And they never flooded the market with product lines. They stuck to a focused range, skincare, body, a few fragrances, nothing rushed, everything considered. Even as global expansion picked up, Aesop stayed grounded. No rush, no shortcuts. Then came 2023. L'Oreal stepped in and acquired Aesop, $2.5 billion, L'Oreal's biggest ever acquisition. You'd think a global giant like L'Oreal would swoop in, repackage things, change pricing, roll out influencer campaigns, but nope, they didn't touch a thing. Not the packaging, not the store design, not the brand voice, not even the pace of growth. Why? Because they knew the value was the brand, the restraint, the consistency, the integrity, the positioning. If a global giant buys your brand and doesn't touch a thing, you didn't just build equity, you built art. And what's wild is, Aesop never compromised to get here. They didn't sell out, they just stayed true for decades, and eventually the world caught up. So let's break it down. What can we take from Aesop's journey? 1. Quiet luxury can cut through the noise. You don't need to go viral. You don't need influencers. Aesop proved that sometimes the most powerful brands are the ones that don't shout. Aesop wasn't loud, it was precise. People love discovering Aesop because it feels personal, almost like finding a hidden gem. That's brand magnetism. 2. Consistency builds trust. For over 3 decades, Aesop didn't flip-flop. Same tone, same design, same values. And that consistency made it easy for people to talk about them. Word of mouth thrives when the message is clear and unchanging. Even L'Oreal paid $2.5 billion to not change the brand. That's how much brand integrity is worth. 3. Every detail is a brand moment. From their store design to the way a staff member offers to wash your hands, everything was intentional. No print ad can beat the experience of walking into an Aesop store. They turned brick and mortar into theater. Their sinks became signature moments. Their soap bottles, insta-famous. Lesson, make your details count, because they're never just small things. 4th, scale slowly and let desire build. Instead of opening hundreds of stores quickly, Aesop expanded slowly, and that scarcity created demand. People wanted to find them. Even online, they never spammed promotions or begged for clicks. They trusted the product to speak. That patience paid off, literally. 5. Be the contrast. Everyone else had loyalty points, bright packaging, and loud ads. Aesop said no to all of it. They zagged where others zigged and built something memorable. If everyone in your niche is doing the same thing, that's your cue to be different, but different with purpose. 6. Build culture, not just commerce. Aesop didn't just sell products, they told stories, supported artists, and aligned with thinkers. Events, libraries, design collaborations, all of it built a cultural halo that money can't buy. They weren't chasing customers, they were building community. People didn't just buy Aesop, they belonged to it. You don't need to dominate the algorithm, you need to own a feeling. And that's what Aesop mastered. It became a feeling, a ritual, a space. In our last case study, we explored Koala, a bold, fast-scaling Aussie brand that used humor, urgency, and DTC firepower to shake up the mattress space. Aesop, the polar opposite. Subtle, poetic, uncompromising. In a world of noise, Aesop chose silence and still became unforgettable. Now that is not marketing, that's mastery. If stories like this spark your brain, subscribe to Media Mates. We decode brand strategy that actually works, from loud disruptors to quiet legends. And if you haven't seen it yet, go check out our Koala case study. It's the flip side of this story. Equally smart, but totally different playbook.